Welcome back to the Schmitter's 100 Acre Woods. So out here at the 100 acres today, at the home site, I have a few things planned. So have the stump grinder here, have all the stumps and stuff here, kind of the septic area. So this is where all the brush was, got it cleaned up. Has a couple of big ones and then a whole bunch of different ones there that just need to be cleaned up. So I may try to get to that. And then we did bring the land plane today. On the small tractor, so gonna test it out. I haven't used it on the drive yet thus far, so gonna try it out. This part's a little rutted up, and then from where we were taking the trailer back, there's a spot back there where it's pretty rutted up, and just spots here. So since we have all this nice gravel, figured we'll try to keep it maintained. So I'm gonna test it out. I'll get some video of it being used, but the idea is that it has a couple of cross pieces, and instead of gathering up gravel and kind of moving a large amount, it just spills over the back. But it's a nice 5-foot piece that you know, should help get it all leveled out. So we're going to use it on the gravel first, and then go to the dirt and see about using it there. Alright, so here, working on getting some of that graded out and just moving some of it over toward the green hole to kind of get it spread out. So through this section, for whatever reason, they put a lot here, so you can see it really fills up that box. So, you know, normally it would just kind of spill over top, but there's so much gravel here that it's actually causing some issues. So that's why we're kind of just spreading it out here. We wanted to put some gravel here and in the other direction as well, just to kind of help spread that out. But there's so much here that it actually was kind of causing issues whenever we were driving the truck through, because it was so thick it was actually kind of sinking the truck in, or you'd spin the tires and create some kind of ruts in it. So that's why we're kind of getting some of this thinned out, so putting gravel where we need it, and just kind of getting it all smoothed out. So a couple things with the land plane. So it has scar fires on it that you can set down, and like if you don't have a lot of rock and you need to move stuff up, you can kind of get it to scuff that and bring it up. Here we have enough gravel, basically just need to smooth it out. So we went with the 5-foot one for a couple different reasons. So I started reading about them, and the idea is that you can kind of set it up so you have a little bit of a slant, so that you can do, like, most driveways are about 10 foot. So you can do half and half, and whenever you go, and then you can kind of create a little bit of a cant on each side so that the water will run off. Over that hill over there is kind of where the main thing is, where we have a lot of gravel. They just put a lot down. So we're going to actually see about dragging some of it and kind of creating a little bit of a path over. But the idea is that instead of gathering a whole bunch like in a yard box, these are only, you know, 6 inches tall. So we'll gather a little bit of the gravel and kind of disperse it in low spots like we have here, but it's not dragging it all along to where you have a big pile at the end. And it's going to take a little bit of finessing, probably doing it a couple times. Like here we have a lot on the sides that we could get drug in. And I think right now he's working on moving some of that gravel down, and then gonna kind of spread it. For whatever reason, I put it really thick right here, so there's just a lot. Like whenever we took the truck up without four-wheel drive, it was kind of hot, so we had lots of ruts here. So he's getting some of it thinned out and then just dragging it over. And like there's just so much gravel there that they put in to help level that up. So instead of using dirt, they just graveled it. But eventually what we could do, which some of this is going to come out again, like this tree we're going to take out, and then a lot of our extra dirt's going to kind of go that direction. It starts to fall off there. So all the dirt that we need to take off this top to kind of get in the level with here. So there's kind of a top there, so we need to bring all this down a little bit. All that dirt's going to go this direction and kind of build that up. So away from where we're going to build, it's going to be driveway. So if we build it up flat, so you have like a nice drive that comes in that's flat, and then just kind of gradually slope it off on the other side so that you could, you know, eventually have yard or something on that side. Probably what we'll do. So just kind of looking at, you know, general what we need to do, and keep working on it little bits at a time. Okay, so took the mat and everything out of the bed of the yard. So we're gonna go back to the 1000. So back there we have our Stihl and everything that we hang, and it keeps slumping off. So it kind of just keeps falling back, which is fine. We kind of keep working that back, which is all right. It just kind of keeps falling into where we have cleaned out. So we have some dirt that we need a little bit further down the path that I'm going to move that towards. So I'm going to do the exercise where he puts a few scoops in the back, and then I'll go dump it, and then he can keep working that out. Got the gravel done, so that was kind of the main thing. He wants to try it on the dirt path, so put some of the tines down, let it kind of rip some of that, and then have it grade that off. So doing that now. So he's doing out the food plot and then back to the 1000. So I'm gonna meet him back there while he does that, see how it does. We've used it on dirt I think once at the house, the homestead, once before, and it seemed to work fine. The only issue he may have there is there's quite a few roots still, so we'll have to see how that does. So I'm gonna grab, we bought a hedge trimmer, and it works really well on, so it says 3/4 inch like branches and smaller, and a lot of the stuff that just kind of keeps growing into the path, it's perfect for doing that. So it's one of the Milwaukee ones that goes into their quick lock system. So it's that brand, so it's not like their standalone hedge trimmer. It goes on the one that you put like the weed or head and stuff on. So we already had that, so able to put it on there. So like have just a couple branches here that kind of hang in, so could use a small saw and cut those, but I'll just get those real quick, and then I'll head back the path that he just did, or is trying to grade, and kind of catch stuff there, so that as you're driving along you're not having stuff hit you, and then in the tractor it's not hitting you in the face as you're driving. So again, more just a maintenance day here at the 100 acres, you know, cleaning up the gravel, hopefully get to some bush hogging, and then kind of cleaning up that. So been pretty wet, so not doing any real big projects right now, just general cleanup to keep on top of stuff. There's just some quick video of kind of using it on the dirt now. So similar kind of concept. The thing we found with this is if we have like a lot of branches or kind of that greenery there, it kind of gets stuck in the blade, so you have to then kind of push it off. So that's kind of what he's doing here, is he'll go for a bit, but it does do a pretty good job kind of scraping that off and creating it flat, and cleaning some of that up. But you do have to pretty often go through and kind of push that back into the woods, just because it does kind of gather up. And for most of our trails, so this is about 5 foot wide. It works for most of them. That's about how wide we've gone, because that's about how wide the Otter is. So that makes it handy for, making sure you're wide enough for it to fit through. But here you can see where, with some of the wetter dirt, because it was wet when we were there, it does kind of clump up a little bit more and doesn't just spill over the back one, kind of like the gravel did. So it's not a perfect solution, but it is a little bit nicer and better than the grader box, as far as collecting dirt and just moving it along. So here, just taking the Otter back, you can kind of see that trail once he's gone through it once. And then I'm just taking the hedge trimmer and doing a little bit of cleanup so that you're not getting hit with stuff as you drive through. So I just already took the mat out just so we don't damage that, and then work on getting all that dirt moved. So had a pretty good landslide there to begin with, and then he already had collected a little bit to kind of get this moved back. So we have a low spot back here that gets pretty narrow, so go ahead and start cutting dirt or putting dirt on the sides to widen it out, and just kind of go through a quick time lapse here of getting all that moved. So it takes a little bit of time. You can't get but a couple scoops of this kind of clay cold dirt in the back of the Otter, but it's much quicker than doing it one tractor bucket at a time. So slowly get that done, get this open back up. It's one of those things, until we eventually get more of this hill back, we'll be dealing with for a long time. So this is toward the end, just kind of show you all the piles of dirt I had there, and then he comes and spreads it out. So right here you can really see the advantage of this. You can see how the dirt spills over the two blades and kind of fills in. So instead of taking all that dirt and moving it way up the hill there, it kind of spills over and just creates a nice path. So if you're trying to move dirt from one location to another, obviously this isn't the thing, but for kind of grading out and creating a path, it works very well for that. The thing you do have to watch on this though is it is pretty long, so it sticks back past the tractor pretty far, so it's not ideal for close quarters. It is the exact same width the blades are as the tires, as you can see there. So we bought this model also for that purpose, so that as you drive through it covers your tire track. It sticks past just a little bit, but most of that are the kind of the shoes that it rides on. So that was purposeful to make sure you can cover your entire track on the tractor. here I walked to the top of this hill to kind of give you a perspective of kind of how tall it is. So there, as he's driving away, you can kind of get some perspective of you know, how much of a dip there is here. So we've raised this up, you know, a foot or two. We could still do more, but it's definitely in the right direction, and kind of getting this widened out as well, so that it's not quite so tight as you drive through here. So switching gears a little bit here, have this tree needed cleaned up. I showed it, I think, at the beginning. Kind of fell across the path here, so this is just the top of it. Well, I have the bed out, clean up this brush. Instead of creating a pile, I'll go ahead and just take it back to the green hole and dump it. So just getting this cleaned up a little bit. I already had gotten most of the top cleaned up and didn't get a camera set up, but just dragging the pieces out that I can with the auger, kind of getting stuff cleaned up away from the path. And then there's a bigger piece in there that will probably just be firewood, but I'll wait for the tractor instead of skidding that through. And then here's just a quick look of what he's got in bush hog. So he got the bush hog put on and started getting everything cleaned up kind of in this area. Hope before too long to get this to be yard. So got everything mowed back down, and then really need to take the York rake, start getting everything collected again, and then can start getting that into more a yard condition. Alright, show you what we got done here, moving dirt, just because we did that for a while. You see lots of video of that. So this is down the hill, the 1000s that way, 800s right behind the auger there. So I had a spot here, kind of a low spot, put a little bit of dirt in here. Probably should have brought a little bit more, but most of it I put up around here. So the other thing I've been doing, I still need to come through here and do it, is taking that hedge trimmer and getting some of this stuff back, just so that when you come through, you're not having that drag across you. So come through here, get all that chopped down, stuff like this that's just kind of hanging over or will be soon. Go ahead and just kind of getting it trimmed back. So you can't really tell too much just because doesn't look a whole lot different, but most of the dirt that I brought I put down here. Just worked on getting this kind of filled out, so it was pretty skinny here between the edge here and what we had. Kind of more like here, I need to get more dirt brought in here, so I just started kind of dumping it off the side and then dumping it here. And then there was a hole here as well, so just kind of worked on getting it dumped in. So get it all graded out. We'll track it in now, just driving back here. And then time with the you know, just rain and everything, it'll eventually kind of work its way in, and then we'll grade it again. But worked on getting this raised up a little bit, so there's probably still about 5 feet of elevation change from the top up there to where I'm standing. But worked on getting all this raised up a little bit, along with getting it widened out, just so that you have a little bit more room through here. Eventually we'll go through, we'll take that tree out just because it's pretty rotten at the bottom. We can kind of eat some of this hill, put it down here, and get this widened out a little bit more. So sometime we have the 62, can dig all that out, take this dirt, start putting it kind of in this low spot, and just create a little bit wider path here. And if I go through and trim all this stuff back, it'll kind of make it feel a little bit wider anyway. So that's what we did with that dirt. Whenever you saw me bringing it down and dumping it, it was right here. Seemed to work best to just back up the path. It wasn't very far, and be able to dump it, then go back out. Instead of trying to come down here, do a loop around, and then constantly driving over that dirt. You have to kind of keep moving and dump, which you can do and everything. The thing you have to be careful on, like on this machine and probably like the 900s and some other ones that have the hydraulic dump, so it's not electric over hydraulic. It's actually hydraulic, but it does steal your fluid from your power steering, so they are run off the same pump. So whenever you are utilizing the dump bed, you are robbing all of the hydraulic fluid for your power steering, so you lose power steering during that period. So that's just one thing you have to be mindful of on these machines. Not a bad design, just how they did it. You got to get the hydraulics from somewhere, and in theory most of the time when you're dumping you're not having to steer, so it made sense as far as how they have that tied together. Just if you're going along and you are trying to turn while dumping, you'll notice that your hydraulics are gone. So I'm gonna get that trimmed back and then see what's next. So Dad's been mowing while I've been using the hedge trimmer here. So has the head on it and then the quick lock system, like where you'd attach on different things. So we just have the hedge trimmer, nice because you have you know, about a 3 to 4 foot reach on that, so that's very helpful. So I've been working on getting some of these trails cleaned up, just get stuff back a little bit. It's one of those things that's going to be a forever project as things grow, but for the time being, kind of nice to have that done. So I've been doing that. Dad's been mowing. Saw the little clip whenever I mowed, or whenever I drove through, of what he had mowed in between there. And then he went across over by the overflow and is getting over there as well. And just any place he can get to where it's not too wet, he's getting some of that cleaned up. It just makes it look a little bit nicer around there. And anything we need to get to, you know, just nice to have that cleaned up. And then I did get a couple pretty good pieces of that tree that were across the path out. Showed you kind of the end of that, getting it pulled out and some of that brush in. So there wasn't a whole lot of brush in what I was working on, so I just loaded it in the auger and took it to the green hole and got that cleaned up that way. So fairly productive day. Again, just kind of a maintenance day, cleaning stuff up and taking care of stuff. No big projects one way or the other, just kind of general maintenance. All of these are different parts of the path. So Dad had worked on doing this from basically the 200 to the 500, and got a lot of that stuff cleaned back. So went ahead and started working on the other pieces of this, kind of past that. Part of that other one was for our lane, to see the pieces of steel that are put out. But like through here, it's just so that whenever you're driving through, you don't have all the stickers and branches kind of, you know, coming back at you whenever you drive through. So just a little bit of cleanup maintenance. So after I get this done here, I'm not sure if I will have a chance to do a video wrapping it all up. So I'll try to run around and do a little bit of video of what he's gotten done as far as mowing goes. Nothing super exciting, just kind of neat to see. You know, don't have a before on a lot of that, but just everything standing in the woods here is so grown up that, I mean, it's hard to walk anywhere without just having all the stickers and just everything grown up. So it's about like that in the front as well. So go through, try to get some video of what he's gotten cleaned up after I get this done. So if I don't get to do a wrap-up video, thank you for watching the Schmitter's 100 Acre Woods. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.